Welcome to ThinkTech on OC16, Hawaii's weekly newscast on things that matter to tech and to Hawaii. I'm Raya Salter.
And I'm Elise Anderson.
In our show this week, we'll cover the 2017 Elele Ambassador Recognition Meeting, organized by Meet Hawaii partners at the Convention Center.
This program connects local organizations with ties to national and international associations that can attract scientific meetings for Hawaii.
Hawaii has been successful in establishing itself as a leisure destination. We also need to brand Hawaii as a global gathering place for science. We can do this by leveraging existing professional relationships.
Hawaii may not be home to many multinational corporations, but we are home to the University of Hawaii, one of the finest research institutions in the country. That being the case, UH is an important strategic ally in our efforts to rebrand the state.
UH is bristling with excellence, including the School of Ocean and Earth Science, the Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology, the Center for Microbial Oceanography Research and Education, the College of Engineering, the Computer Science Department, and so many more.
Sometimes we think it's just a school on a hill, but in fact it's one of the most important facilities in our state and part of a huge global network central in our future as a people, a culture, an economy, an environment, and a state.
But the convention venue competition is brisk. Across the country, meeting planners are deluged with calls from visitor industry representatives of convention cities like San Francisco, San Diego, and Anaheim.
While the Elele program welcomes participation by any member of the UH faculty, many of those faculty are famous on national and international levels and part of a global network of distinguished educators and researchers.
These faculty members can serve as key players in pursuing and organizing meetings in their fields of study. Our edge is their willingness to dedicate their global relationships to connect us with this crucial market.
The conventions we're talking about are primarily those of scientific organizations, groups of scientists that come from around the world to compare notes, rub shoulders, and advance their respective areas of global science together. They usually number in the thousands, sometimes in the tens of thousands.
There are many associations and scientists around the world, and there are many, many conferences and conventions taking place all the time. Science has become a collaborative experience, and global collaboration is essential to the research itself.
More and more, scientists need to meet, collaborate, and compare notes. They do that on the internet with the search engines that have become available to them. They do it through professional journals, and of course, they do it face-to-face at critically important scientific meetings and conferences.
Our future depends on leveraging our strengths in both science and tourism. If Hawaii wants to be a player in the 21st century, we will need to realize our destiny as a scientific gathering place. It's not just a matter of sending papers away for publication or of doing research in our own laboratories. It's sharing that work interactively with other scientists in similar institutions elsewhere.
We must get the word out about the excellence of our scientific establishment and the benefits of doing these scientific meetings in Hawaii. One of the best ways we can do that is to rub shoulders with other academic and scientific communities elsewhere.
This is what the Elele Recognition Banquet was all about. And indeed, it was an extraordinary event, bringing so many dedicated people together, from academia, government, industry, and tourism. We were pleased to be there and to be a part of it.
500 people showed up for the program, and it was proof of our togetherness. Before it started, we took a minute to say hello to some of the attendees.
We managed to bring the 2020 U.S. Aquaculture Association meeting here, and I'm here to benefit from that.
We're here tonight honoring our Elele ambassadors. Elele in Hawaiian means ambassadors, and our local ambassadors help us bring business to the state of Hawaii.
We're celebrating the support and the efforts of our local community who help bring conventions to Honolulu.
This is the function to give awards to people that deserve them. The Elele Foundation is doing it. We've had all day our spring marketing update where we've seen some of the consequences already of the travel ban. New skin was coming in here from China with 6,000 people, and it's down to about 3,500 because they can't get visas.
Oh, I'm here because we are organizing at the university the Hawaii International Conference on System Sciences.
Well, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for the College of Engineering to present how important we are to Hawaii, to Hawaii's economy.
Right.
Well, here we have the leadership team of myself excluded, of course, of ThinkTech Hawaii, and this is a momentous occasion to have the Brain Trust here at the Convention Center.
There are professors and faculty members in the medical school that have connections at other places and medical centers that can help facilitate bring these programs here.
I'm coming here because we're hoping to bring the Geographers Association to Honolulu for the association meeting.
We have a huge number of university people here, and one of the things we try to do is we love to bring our professional associations here. So it's something I've engaged in personally many times for, gosh, my first big one was in 1995, the big Internet Society conference, where we had Tim Berners-Lee and Vint Cerf and all of the, Eric Schmidt was the conference chair before he was still at Sun and before Google. But today we're really recognizing a whole bunch of our faculty, primarily engineering, but SOS. And one of the nice things about this event is they're also recognizing our faculty who have worked hard to bring meetings here, who haven't necessarily gotten a yes the first time, to encourage them to keep trying. So it's we love doing it. It's good for us because we can attend more inexpensively. We're more likely to be able to share the great stuff going on in the university. And of course, it's great for the economy, and we love to share where we live with the people we collaborate with around the world.
My basic reason for being here is enjoying the ambiance of all these folk who are trying to convince each other that there's no better place on the planet to have a meeting, business, pleasure, or otherwise than Hawaii.
The hotels are one of the most important components of the decision that meeting planners make when they select a destination. So we got representatives from Hilton, Hyatt, Starwood, Marriott, and Hyatt, Ala Moana, Pacific Beach. So we're invested in this industry, right? We know how important it is and how valuable it is to the industry, not just from a leisure standpoint, but we need some more business customers here.
This is a fantastic convention facility. Been talking to people. I've been to Chicago, I've been to Boston, I've been to San Diego, and this is head and shoulders above any of those.
The dinner involved cultural greetings, a marching performance by the Royal Hawaiian Honor Guard, welcoming remarks by the Hawaii Tourism Authority and the Convention Center, and an invocation.
My name is Leslie Dance, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Product Development for the Hawaii Tourism Authority.
And aloha, I'm her sidekick, Terry Orton, the General Manager here at the Hawaii Convention Center. Aloha.
We welcome you to the Elele Recognition Paina. I want to start by talking about the words that we use at the Hawaii Tourism Authority. Elele is the Hawaiian word for ambassador, or one who goes ahead. And through the Elele program, community leaders with ties to national and international organizations work alongside the visitor industry to attract and support mutually beneficial meetings and conventions.
Tonight, we are going to have the pleasure of hearing firsthand from some of our local Elele or ambassadors who really know how to sell Hawaii, and they're very, very passionate about it.
This is our opportunity to thank and recognize all the wonderful volunteers who are lobbying and supporting the meetings and conventions industry for our state. Hawaii has made the short list for the National Association of Letter Carriers for 2020. It is 8,000 to 10,000 delegates, generating about 27,000 room nights. Tonight, we will have 5 major awards as well as the official Elele report given by our own Debbie Zimmerman, our director of the Elele program.
The program involved introductions, awards, and recognitions, all punctuated by slides and movies featuring the individuals and organizations involved.
Aloha, I'm Pris Teixeira, Managing Director of Hawaii Tourism Authority Global MCI. Tonight, we honor the World Conservation Congress as Hawaii's global meeting of the year for 2016.
When IUCN came here, it not only was 10,000 delegates, they were from 192 countries in the world. It was by far the largest, most diverse environmental meeting in the history of the world.
Aloha, I'm Debbie Zimmerman, and I am the Elele Program Director for the Hawaii Tourism Authority, and it's the greatest job on the planet because I get to work with all of you, and you are quite simply the best. As many of you know, the Hawaii Tourism Authority and the Hawaii Convention Center are particularly interested in pursuing meetings and conventions around areas where Hawaii has core competencies. An excellent example of an ideal meeting for Hawaii is the Electrochemical Society. Hawaii is a leader in the clean energy movement, with a stated goal to be completely on renewable energy by the year 2045. Electrochemistry is the science behind the renewable energy.
I would say it was a very good decision to come back to Hawaii because it's, I believe it's the best meeting we've ever held. We had got over 4,000 attendees here, it was our largest, and we have great expectations for the one we've already planned for 2020.
In 2005, we hosted the American Association for Geriatric Psychiatry meeting, and at that time, Dr. Ike and Lisa Ahmed were involved in securing that meeting for the state. So it had been a while since we hosted them again, and so I picked up the phone and called Dr. Ahmed and said, "Hey, Dr. Ahmed, should it be time to invite the AAGP back?" And he said, "I think that's a great idea, and in fact, I'm the incoming president." And I said, "Oh, president of the local chapter?" And he said, "No, president of the National Association." So, that's like, there's thousands of geriatric psychiatrists across North America. It's like a needle in a haystack, right? So last week, Dr. Ike Ahmed went to their convention where he was installed as the president, and next year the meeting is coming to Honolulu when he's president. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
Mai mai ko mau ki ni lani
After the proceedings, we took another walk around the ballroom and checked in with some of the other attendees who were there.
I think it was well put on, it was well thought out, it was well deployed. We were really grateful to get recognized for a small meeting compared to the rest of those large meetings that come in. And I'm just happy to work with my friend Fred Lau.
But this is really eye-opening. Now I'm really inspired. We're going to bring more conventions to Hawaii.
Well, it was fantastic. You know, we've got such a wonderful group of volunteers here, and it's just time to celebrate them.
Great people, great food. You know, Debbie did such a good job organizing the whole thing.
It's wonderful to see what the university is doing for the state of Hawaii.
It really is nice to see what the university is doing to help the economy of Hawaii. And I think that people don't really know how much that happens. And when you see it at an event like this, it just really brings it to big life.
The day after, we had a great talk show on Free the Science with Rocky Calvo, Executive Director of the Electrochemical Society, who was feted the night before. He talked about creating uninhibited availability of science through open access to accelerate scientific discovery and innovation.
I've always felt, at least the past 10, 20 years, since Bill Gates did the internet actually, that science was accelerated by the ability to collaborate, and that means collaborate on the web. You know, before that there were various efforts in the scientific community to collaborate, but it was slow, it was sluggish, it was hard, you know, and you couldn't find things. Now, with Google and, you know, and the web, you can find things. And if you publish something on the web, you can immediately have feedback, resonance, collaboration anywhere in the world. It's unbelievable the time we live in, and the greatest beneficiary of that is science, where you're moving ahead at the frontier, pushing at the frontier. So this has changed things. I mean, it seems to me that science moves faster now than it ever did before in our lifetime in the world. And the question is, you know, how can we make it move yet faster? Right. And one of the points that we've talked about before the show is you need to publish if you're in science, just like in any other academic you know, pursuit. And the question is whether the publishing process appropriately facilitates the science. You want to talk about that?
Sure. Well, I couldn't have said it better. We have the greatest opportunity we've ever had to really just satisfy our mission. Mission is very simple. Disseminate research to advance the science. And we've always done that, very focused on how we do it and why is through our publications and on our meetings, which is a personal dissemination.
Sure. Well, that's another way to facilitate communication, isn't it?
Right. And so all of a sudden, as you described, the digital revolution takes over, and then you have Google, and everything becomes incredibly discoverable. Yeah. And we can disseminate research better than we ever have, except the model that's been set up to do it is essentially broken. It doesn't really facilitate taking advantage of the new technologies. And the reason is because dissemination of the highest end research, the peer review stuff that gets in all the elite journals, all the journals period, is redistributed through a subscription model. And that's the piece that's broken, because the subscription model requires the scientist to submit to a journal, get accepted, and then published. And once that publication is available, it's part of a subscription, which are very, very expensive. And that breaks down the system, because now people who can't afford it, and it's worse and worse, can't have access to very important research in medical, at science, at engineering disciplines, and world-changing, life-changing disciplines.
Why don't they just spend the money?
Because they don't have it. And the prices are getting higher and higher. There's a commercial element that's also evolved. So the majority of science publishing and medical publishing is really done through a handful of small commercial publishers that dominate the market and basically set the pricing. And so only very high-end universities can afford a lot of these subscriptions, and which means only the people at their universities have access to it.
Follow Elele. Follow science. Have you encouraged your kids to study science, to participate in Hawaii's scientific community, the new global free science, and in that regard also to be an LA ambassador? It's important for him, for her, for you, and for us.
Want to know more about Meet Hawaii partners? Check it out at meethawaii.com.
And now let's take a look at our ThinkTech calendar of events going forward.
There's so much happening in Hawaii. Sometimes things happen under the radar and we don't hear much about them, but ThinkTech will take you there.
Remember, you can watch ThinkTech on OC16 several times every week to stay current on what's happening in government, industry, academia, and communities around the islands and the world.
ThinkTech broadcasts its daily talk shows live on the internet from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays. Then we broadcast our earlier shows all night long and on the weekends.
If you missed a show, or if you want to replay or share our shows, they're all archived on demand on thinktechhawaii.com and YouTube. The audio is on thinktechhawaii.com/radio, and we post all our shows as podcasts on iTunes. See our website for links.
Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our weekly calendar and live stream and YouTube links, or sign up on our email list and get the daily docket of our upcoming shows.
ThinkTech has a high-tech, green screen First Amendment studio at Pioneer Plaza. If you want to join our live audience or participate in our shows, write to think@thinktechhawaii.com.
Give us a thumbs up on YouTube or send us a tweet at ThinkTechHI. We'd like to know how you feel about the issues and events that affect our lives together in these islands. We want to stay in touch with you, and we'd like you to stay in touch with us. Let's think together.
You can call into our talk shows live. While you're watching any of our shows, you can call in to 415-871-2474 and pose a question or make a comment.
We'll be right back to wrap up this week's edition of ThinkTech. But first, we want to thank our underwriters.
Okay, Elise, that wraps up this week's edition of ThinkTech. Remember, you can watch ThinkTech on OC16 several times every week. Can't get enough of it, just like Elise does. For additional times, check out oc16.tv.
For lots more ThinkTech videos and for underwriting and sponsorship opportunities on ThinkTech, visit thinktechhawaii.com. Be a guest or a host, a producer, or an intern, and help us reach and have an impact on Hawaii.
Thanks so much for being a part of our ThinkTech family and for supporting our open discussion of tech, energy, diversification, and global awareness in Hawaii. You can watch this show throughout the week and tune in next Sunday evening for our next important weekly episode. I'm Raya Salter.
And I'm Elise Anderson. Aloha, everyone.